Hello, my name is Anna Maiza from ISA 4220 of the spring 2020. Today we are going to talk about POP3 and SMT, starting with the technical side, then we follow by how to harden them. We will start with the technical side of the POP3. So POP3 enables a server to host email accounts and includes tools to administer to the server's domains and mailboxes. The POP3 service performs tasks of message downloading and request handling, which on a Windows-based server, where messages downloads consists of transmitting the message from a folder in the file system to the client, and request handling is performed according to the POP3 protocol, which defines how the server responds to requests from email clients. The SMT service receives email from the internet, saves the mail to the queue folder, then notifies the SMT delivery service for the POP3 of the arrival of the email. Then the delivery service moves to the email or the POP3 mail store, where it is available for download to POP3 email clients. The ideal environment for the POP3 service consists of the following: Windows Server 2003 should be installed and functioning properly. A server hardware is sized appropriately with the number of users and disk space requirements. A suitable authentication configuration for the installation is implemented using Active Directory, integrated local Windows accounts, or encrypted password file authentication. Also, the volume that holds the mail store is formatted using the NTS file system, and quotas are enabled on the volume that will host the mailboxes. The internet domain is registered with the naming authority. The SMT service is configured as a mail exchange host with the internet service provider. Also, the mail exchanger records are propagated through the domain name system. Now we go over the POP3 protocol overview. The POP3 protocol defines not only the commands and responses between the POP3 client and the server, but also the state of the session. The state of the session defines whether a POP3 command is valid in the context. The POP3 defines the commands for authentication, message retrieval, and message management being a series of three states, that is the authorization, transaction, and update state. The authorization state is the state of the session once the connection has been established. The connection between the client and the server uses a TCP three-way handshake to establish a network connection. Then there is the transaction state, which is the second state in the POP3 session. The commands are valid and provide information about the email messages, return the context of the messages, and mark messages for deletion. The lastly is the update state, which is the last state of the POP3 session. It is the receipt of the quit command signals the server to delete any messages marked for deletion. The quit command can also be used in authorization state to end a session before it enters the transaction state. In this situation, the connection to the server is terminated. Here are some practices that I found and that I would recommend. In order for the clients to connect to the service, it is recommended that the server must listen on some communication endpoint for a connection request. The POP3 service listens to TCP port 110 for POP3 for incoming connection unless it is configured to listen to another port. The POP3 service manages the connection to the server automatically and automatically disconnects the idle connections. It also listens to the protocol port for port 110 for POP3 with mandatory status, since the status help by reducing the risk by taking an existing insecure connection and upgrading it to a secure connection for POP3. The SMTP sections describe the status command that enables the server to tell the client that it supports encrypted communication and the client requests an upgrade to a secure channel. Optionally, listen to implicit TLS ports 995 for POP3 service. Also enforce authentication even for local networks and make sure that the authentication is not allowed on unencrypted connections. Lastly, use the recommended cipher suites for connecting mail agent user to support them. Then finally turn off the down attack 11, that is SLV2 attack. Next, we have the discussion for SMT, which carries electronic mail of the world. SMT protocol uses a TCP protocol on port 25. One SMT server makes a telnet connection to the TCP port 25. The other one makes a command and thus receiving numeric responses. However, it is limited in its ability to key messages at the receiving end. It is usually one of the other protocols of POP3 and IMAP that lets the users save their messages in a server mailbox and download them periodically from the Unix server-based systems. It also sends email, seeing it is widely used SMT server for email. Also, the commercial package that sends mail to POP includes the POP3 server. Then the Microsoft Exchange includes the SMT server, can also be used to set or update. It is implemented so you can operate it on over port 25. The SMT protocol overview. The SMT is a connection-oriented text-based protocol in which mail sender communicates with the mail receiver by issuing command strings and supplying necessary data over reliable ordered data stream channel. Typically, a transmission control protocol, which is TCP connection. The SMT session consists of commands originating with the SMT client and corresponding responses from the SMT server, so that the session is opened and session parameters are exchanged. A session may include a 0 or more SMT transactions. SMT transaction consists of 3 commands. Mainly, the mail command, which establishes the return address of the so-called return reverse path. Bounce address from or envelope sender. The next one is the RCPT command to establish the recipient of the message. This command is issued multiple times for each recipient. These addresses are part of the envelope. Number 3 is the data to signal. Each signals the beginning of a text message. The context of the message, as opposed to its envelope, consists of a header, message body, separated with an empty line. Data is a group of commands, and the server replies twice. Once to the data itself to acknowledge that it has already received the text, and the second after the end of data sequence to either accept or reject the entire message. Here are some recommendations and best practices for SMT. It is always more secure to make sure that you're running no default settings. Also, make sure that you have change of administrative usernames and use only complex passwords. Change your passwords according to the set schedule. Once every 3 months is recommended. Some of the settings for SMT include total number of connections, the total number of simultaneous connections, and the maximum connection rate. Those will need to be tweaked for a while during operation until you find it works. The next one is test. Have some email sent through SMTP application and commence full operation only when that's successful. But testing for incidents like those attacks will probably require the work of penetration testers. Arrange it to have a red team to work on your SMT server before you launch. SSL options is good to have. For POP3, IMAP and SMT as a standard TCP/IP ports. They should always be chosen instead of plain text email ports, no matter how unimportant you think your data is. Nearly all modern email clients and server applications support SSL. You can completely eliminate plain text email sending and receiving rather easily. The SMT servers are subject to denial of service attacks. In your SMT settings, limit your number of connections. Also, total number of simultaneous connections and maximum connection rate as much as you can, while still maintaining the functionality that your organization requires. Make sure that you require some fine tweaking over time. Requires a bit of trial and error. Every SMT server's needs are different. The mail delivery for your SMT server should be limited only to authenticate email accounts in your system. Your mail delivery agent's functionality security should be reviewed on a regular basis according to what's workable for your organization. Secure the SMT using port 65. Encryption is built in, so it is easy to use. Finally, mitigate email malware and phishing attacks by configuring spam URL real-time block list, that is SUBO, which can filter out malicious hyperlinks that often embed in the body of emails. Here are my references. Thanks for watching the presentation. Thank you.